absolutely need to sit down and discuss the latest drama surrounding Tana Mongeau because she is publicly putting someone on blast who previously worked on her team. She is revealing all these shocking details about how this specific individual allegedly tried to go behind her back and deliberately sabotage her reputation just as she was entering her new corporate-friendly, brand-safe era. We are going to unpack every single piece of information regarding this situation. Over the last several years, the internet has watched Tana Mongeau's entire professional journey unfold right in front of our eyes. We remember the early days when she built her massive following purely on wild storytime videos, which eventually led into the chaotic Jake-Paul marriage era, followed by her highly publicized cancellation phases, and now bringing us to her modern transformation into a safe, corporate-friendly creator. Throughout all of these major career shifts, we watched her collaborate incredibly closely with her longtime former business manager Jordan, as well as the massive public fallout that eventually took place between them. After that split, she transitioned to working with an entirely fresh management group, which ultimately led to the specific team of individuals she employs to run her business today. Just recently, she opened up on an episode of her podcast to share how incredibly relieved and happy she feels to finally be operating with a female-led management team. During this discussion, she mentioned that a male industry professional she worked with for a very brief period in the past would constantly take credit for major business wins that he had absolutely nothing to do with. She explained that she quickly realized what was happening and stopped working with this individual after a short period, which left her listeners desperately trying to figure out the exact identity of the person she was referring to.
That behind 70% of talented female celebrities is a team of men because it is such a male-dominated industry. And it's so crazy in my life. This really will be a whole episode, but just about the difference in my life of having a female manager versus a male manager and a male team. And someone that I used to work with, and not someone that I worked with too closely. However, I did used to work with them. I had stopped working with them because they were just a typical man in the industry. They were taking credit for all of the women's work in our life and in our team. And I would watch that time and time again. And I think that's a huge pet peeve of mine. People who take credit for other people's work so that they can get the flowers and the roses. It gives me the ick so hard, especially when it's a man taking credit for a woman's work.
Now, looking back at her history, her audience knows she maintained an incredibly close relationship with Jordan to the point where he frequently assumed a paternal role during the wildest chapters of her career, meaning she definitely was not talking about him since she specified this new person was a short-lived associate. Other followers started speculating whether she was talking about David Weintraub, whom she signed a management deal with shortly after her partnership with Jordan ended. There were multiple entertainment articles published at the time detailing the fact that she was signing with his agency to make him her primary new manager. But she actually spent a significant amount of time around David, making it unlikely that he was the distant associate she described. It is far more probable that she was referring to a higher-level agency executive or a corporate manager whom she rarely interacted with face-to-face, instead communicating through an assigned point person while the head executive swooped in to take credit whenever a major deal closed. The boss would immediately act as though he single-handedly orchestrated the success, when in reality he had not contributed to the actual labor. She basically explained that she resolved the issue by completely ghosting this individual.
If someone sucks at communicating, I will go ghost on someone. Even if I've spent a lot of time with them, if I've tried to communicate to you time and time again why you suck, or the things that you are doing wrong to me, or the things that I would love to work on. And sometimes I regret it. And sometimes I do think that people deserve a proper goodbye. But at the same time, people also deserve proper communication. People deserve to be heard. It is just something that I do. And it's something that I try to work on sometimes in certain situations. But sometimes I'm just like, you don't deserve this from me. Like if I go and I tell you why I want to walk away in a calm, respectable manner, you're just going to meet me with erratic gaslighting. And that isn't fair to me. So I'm gonna fucking yeet that. I'm going to avoid it. That's what I did with this man.
While she admitted that she occasionally experiences moments of regret and sometimes believes people deserve a formal, professional farewell, she strongly believes that proper communication must go both ways. If an individual cannot offer basic professional respect and maturity, they do not deserve her time. She noted that if she attempts to explain her departure in a calm and respectful manner, and the other party responds with erratic manipulation and gaslighting, she will choose to avoid the toxic behavior entirely and remove herself from the equation, which is exactly how she cut ties with this man. She went on to explain that this specific individual became deeply resentful over losing her as a client, to the point where he actively tried to ruin her new brand safe image by spreading toxic lies about her to other major talent agents in Hollywood.
As you guys know now, I have shut down my OF, okay? As of right now, it is today, in today's date, it is shut down. But right before, probably a month before I was launching Brand Safe, it hadn't been shut down yet. It was just still running, and like the girls that were on my team over there were just kind of repurposing the content that I had already shot for it. And it was still up and running, and I knew I'd wanted to shut it down, right? So I start telling people in the industry that I'm shutting it down. This word ends up getting back to this man who I let go in my life, okay? I take accountability for this, and I do think it's kind of a negative point of mine. Bird had been getting around in the industry that I was wanting to quit my OF, and this man that I worked with, this absolute lizard of a human being, goes around and starts telling all of these agents and other people, like he tells Trisha's agent this, he tells like so many other women and people in the industry that I had been secretly doing porn on my OF, which I had never done. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But even just a man trying to like spread that narrative about me, like almost as though it's a negative thing. Like, yeah, and she was doing hardcore porn on her OF, like, is so dirty and disgusting. And he was trying to tell everyone that I was doing it and I was making no money doing it. So that's why I was quitting OF. Mind you, I just never did it. It's just factually not true. And then he's going around and doubling down and just saying like her and Brittany are making no money. Her business is in the gutter. Mind you, like the Brand Safe era has changed my life financially. And I'm just like, you're so bitter and butthurt that I no longer want to work with you, that you're gonna go tell everyone in the industry that I'm like getting my back blown out for free.
Regarding her updated image, Tana has been actively trying to improve her professional reputation across the board, focusing heavily on uploading regular content to her vlog channel and showing up on time for major career opportunities. Over the years, she has faced heavy public criticism for missing scheduled appearances or showing up hours late to important events, which is why consistency is so crucial for her right now. However, during her recent live show in Las Vegas, alongside Trisha Paytas, fans worried she was slipping back into her old, unreliable habits when she briefly became entirely unreachable. It turns out she was dealing with a massive dental emergency involving an impacted wisdom tooth that had erupted, causing her to run a dangerous fever and experience intense physical pain right before the performance.
In my brain, I'm like, my tooth, I have a fever, it's infected.
Me watching your TikTok. This is when you know you're done talking. You're not even watching TikToks. You're just staring at the wall. No, literally. I'm in so much pain.
Because she briefly went completely missing in Las Vegas without answering her phone. Her staff genuinely believed she was going to skip the event entirely, though she ultimately managed to show up and perform.
Tana was going through it that day, so I was a little worried because we get off we get to the hotel, and the first thing we find out, do you know where Tana is? We're like, what?
My tour manager, I'm getting texts from people. I saw Devin in the hallway, and he was like in that same hallway where everything was happening, and he's like, Tana's tooth ruptured, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, what?
I didn't know teeth can rupture.
I didn't know what that meant either. So then I text her. I didn't want to I was like, oh my god. I'm like, okay. So I'm really spitting at this point. And she came to sound check.
That's the guy, because we weren't even expecting her at all. I found Paige and Molly outside, and I was like, maybe we should go to sound check. As my Paige, especially if Tana's not there, like maybe you can pass along any info or something. And they were like, yeah, okay, like let's go check the sound. I was like, period. Okay. Then we went up to your room to all go down together.
Yeah.
And even the whole time, Paige hadn't really heard from Tana either, so we were all like assuming she wasn't going to be there because that's kind of what we were told. And then we opened the door, and who do we see but Tana Mongeau and Holly Madison? And I was like, work professional.
Okay, I didn't know either because she hadn't responded to me, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Paige didn't think she was going to go.
She made it, and she was like in full glam. She looked like beautiful. She was like stunning.
While the past version of Tana likely would have skipped the show entirely under those conditions, she pushed through the physical misery, a dedication that paid off when she was officially named to the Forbes Top Creators list. She briefly confused the honor with the famous 30 under 30 list on her social media, posting an emotional message on Instagram expressing how surreal it felt to achieve a lifelong dream while recovering from surgery. Some viewers found the situation highly ironic, reminding the community that Tana had previously posted videos completely bashing the Forbes 30 under 30 list as a fraudulent pay-for-play system. She had openly claimed that wealthy individuals simply purchased their spots on the list to make themselves look successful, mocking the participants and stating that her own team had received offers to buy her way onto the feature in the past.
Can buy a spot on the Forbes 30 under 30 list.
Well, I mean, that shows you belong there, to be honest. What I particularly like about Forbes 30 under 30 is that there's 200 people on it.
Well, and
Isn't it supposed to, there are supposed to be 30 people under 30.
don't get me wrong, congratulations to everyone on it, even though half of them
I want to
bought
buy
it.
it so bad, please. Like,
I've gotten the offer to like buy into shit like that. Like if we wanted to, we
you're
could.
so dumb. I'd be all over that shit, and then I would do the classic, like, oh my god, I'm so shocked.
That's my timeline right now. Everyone's so shocked.
I love it. People are like, what the fuck?
And haven't you noticed that half of the people on it all have the same agent?
Recognition once she had the proper professional representation advocating for her achievements. While her audience was initially confused given her past skepticism, her inclusion is clearly the result of strong strategic networking rather than a cash payment. That covers the entire situation regarding Tana Mongeau, from her exposing an ex-employee to her dramatic health crisis in Las Vegas and her recent major financial accolades. I absolutely want to know what you guys think about all of this drama. Drop your opinions down in the comments section below. I love you guys so much, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!